I, Ms. Pranali Sawant, Assistant Professor in History at Ganpat Parsekar College of Education. Welcome to the course. The title of the course is Goa's Traditional Occupation. So I will be discussing Module 1, Mustekar, Fishermen and the Bakers. So in this module, we are going to discuss the types of fishing techniques, fishing communities in Goa, modernization in fishing as well as in bakery industries, government policies and challenges in this field. As we know that the fish curry rice is the staple food of Goa and it is integral part of Goan life and culture. Fishing is an important sector of food production and it provides nutritional security, livelihood and employment to the people. Goa is bestowed with coastline of 104 km with numerous bays and headlands. Thus, it has easy access to the sea land. The continental shelf area of Goa extends to 10,000 km square of about 100 fathoms depth. The current annual average marine and inland fish production is estimated at 86,000 and 3,000 tons respectively. Goa shares nearly 2% of the total marine fish production of our country. Next, we have types of fishing techniques. In Goa, we use different techniques of fishing. The first is operation of beach science. The gill net fishing in offshore water. Here we can see the pictures. Cast net fishing in shallow water, seasonal hook and line fishing, and mechanized fishing. In the mechanized fishings, we use trawlers. Here we have tools of fishing. So apart from trawlers, we use a fishing boat and a pagal. So these are the traditional way of fishing. Fishing communities in Goa. Today, fishermen in Goa are included in the Kharvi community or the other backward classes. Fishermen in Goa are operated in a group of 20 to 25 main members called a band. They use rapon or fishing net, thus they are called as the raponka. Each band has a big shed on the seashore called a cove. So during the fishing time, they take shelter in this cove. The net and a wooden boat is owned by the bhatka and in return, the fishermen they give a part of their share to this bhatka. Modernization in fishing. The Portuguese did not interfere with the coastal maritime communities because they defended their seaborne possession, guarded their trade and commerce from the local rivals, and facilitated their inland trade. Moreover, Portuguese officials and other relished fish and ensured that they received a regular supply. During Dayanand Bandodkar government, he introduced mechanized trawler. It affected traditional fishermen as it destroyed their rapon. Further, the people or the raponkars in Goa, they led a movement. The Department of Fisheries. In Goa, we have a Department of Fisheries. The main objectives of the department is to increase fish production by utilizing the available natural resources, to improve the socio-economic condition of the fishermen who belong to the weaker section of the society, to provide infrastructures for marine and traditional fisheries, to develop freshwater fish culture, to increase inland fish production and also to develop eco-friendly brackish water aquaculture. To achieve these objectives, the department is implementing various schemes like financial assistance to acquire fishing canoe, motorization of canoe, purchase of fishery requisite, subsidy on kerosene for outboard motor operators, supply of insulated boxes, reimbursement of VAT, life jackets, biometric cards, etc. So here are the list of the government policies in Goa. The Department of Fisheries provide financial assistance scheme. Under Atmanirbhar Bharat or the Swayambhurna Bharat, Goa government aware about departmental scheme and technical guidance. The first is financial assistance for the purchase, construction of wooden FRP cannon, financial assistance for the purchase of fuel for the operations of OBM, financial assistance for the purchase of rapport net and its accessories, financial assistance for the purchase of gill net and its accessories, financial assistance to brackish water aquaculture farms. And here we have organizations formed by Goicha Rakom Karacho Ekwar. This was against the mechanized trawlers. Next we have challenges faced by the fishermen in Goa. First is overexploitation. Second, the indiscriminate fishing practices, fishing migration barriers, pollution, habitat degradations, invasive species, climate change and lack of a proper management framework. Major decision taken by the government. The government has approved for collection of processing fees for registration of fishing vessels and transfer of fishing vessels under Merchant Shipping Act 1958, Marine Fishing Regulation Act 1980. It reduced the fishing ban from 61 days to 47 days due to COVID-19. The government has approved to register fish sellers and fish traders in order to identify the fishermen from different localities, and department will maintain the database of fishermen in the state. Here we have the data of 2019 and 20. So in this year, 1062 canoes were registered and 410 trawlers and porciners were registered. Next we have the baker or the podi. Bread is an integral part of Goan diet. The bakers and bakeries in Goa, we have the origin since Europeans came to Goa. Bakeries were established to cater the needs of European officials in Goa during the colonial period. Along with the Europeans, Goan began to develop a taste for Western food. One is the bread or the pav. Bakeries products were cheap, and that is why people in Goa, they started affording bread. As a result of urbanization, the demand for bakery product has increased. Pav is a Portuguese name for bread, and the Goan bread maker is locally known as the podir. Many hotels and restaurants depends on the podirs for their daily supply of bread, as the customers do not touch the sliced variety. Bread making in Goa has for centuries been the prefecture of the Catholic community. It is a family tradition handed down over generations with the entire clan involved in the operation. Very few bakeries in Goa like Cafe Central and Gita Bakery in Panjim have perfected the art of converting the local bread into packaged sliced variety appetizing to the people. Here are the varieties of Goan bread. First is the soft and chewy pav, the crisp unda and the pole, third is the kakna, and the fourth is the katrisa pav. It has been the practice that podir goes to door on the bicycle. Traditional process include the baker and his staff work in the night and where the kneading is done, and the dough is left to rise, and early in the morning the baking process starts so that the people get fresh bread for their breakfast. The process adopted by the migrant. In the first place, they bake bread even 3 times in a day, that is in the morning, afternoon and the evening. So here we see the difference between the traditional baker and the migrant. They use extra yeast and keep the dough to rise for only half an hour and then start baking. In Goa, we also celebrate festival, the Poderache Fest. In 2015, this festival was celebrated at the Socorro Church ground to celebrate the traditional poder of Goa and his unique bread. The main idea behind such an event was to get all the stakeholders in the bakery business under one roof to ideate, share ideas and fresh method of baking and to discuss various issues such as labor problems. In Goa, we have organizations such as All Goa Bakers and Confectioner Association. In Goa, we have total 600 bakeries, out of which 50 are managed by Goan and 200 were managed by migrants. Here are the challenges faced by Goan bakers. First is the risk of falling demand of power. Then second is the competition as there are migrants and machine made bread. Third is the risk of skin and chest disease faced by the bakers. Fourth is the fire accidents. Formal education became accessible to the people, so they avoid going into this business. Next is the hard physical labor as it involves the entire night work. Rising cost of raw material. Migrants do not prepare product in a traditional way. And the last is the night. Here are the references. Thank you.